Hello learners, welcome to this video lesson. Today we are going to discuss another important topic of your course. Title of your course is Education, Concept, Nature and Perspectives, and course code is BESC 131. From this course, today we are going to discuss the topic that is Plato, educational philosophy of Plato and Plato's contribution in the field of education. Before starting our discussion, let me to introduce myself. I Dr. Niradhar, Associate Professor, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Welcome you all to this video lesson. Friends, as you know, presently we are in the 8th module of your course. The title of the module is Contribution of Western Philosophers. We have already discussed in our 7th module, earlier module, about contribution of Indian philosophers, and in this module, in the 8th module, we will be discussing contribution of Western philosophers or Western educationists. In this module, 4 important lessons are there, just like first is Plato, then Jean-Jacques Rousseau, then third is John Dewey, and fourth important lesson is Immanuel Kant. So now let us focus upon our first lesson of this module, that is Plato. Before starting our discussion, let me to focus upon some of the important learning outcomes, and I am very much hopeful that after watching this video lesson and after going through the part E content which is given in your self-learning material, you will be able to explain educational philosophy of Plato. You will be able to analyze educational philosophy of Plato on the following aspects, just like aims of education as per Plato, process of education, curriculum at different stages as per Plato, then pedagogy and methods of teaching as suggested by Plato. Further, you will be able to explain the criticisms of educational philosophy of Plato. I am very much hopeful that definitely you will achieve these learning outcomes after going through this video lesson and also after going through the e-content which is given in your text. Now let us go forward. Now let us focus upon philosophy of life as per Plato. Plato was a great philosopher, a great scholar and a great educationist and also a thinker. If you will go through his life philosophy, you will find that most of the things that he has suggested, that is based upon the idealistic schools of thought, and we can say that he was one of the first founders of idealistic schools of thought. He believes on ideas and ideologies, and he believes on ideas are the permanent, and the materialistic world that we are observing and that we are engaging with, that is just the creation from certain ideas. So that's why ideas is permanent, and the creation, this materialistic world, is not permanent. It is ever changeable, but there is no end of ideas. So that's why starting from educational philosophy, starting from the concept of a school, then curriculum, you will find that he has given much importance upon the idealistic thinking, idealistic philosophy and ideology based teaching learning process. Further, if I will go through his best creation, he wrote several books on education, and 2 important creation made by Plato, that is, or 2 important books, that is the Republic and the Laws. You will find his life philosophy and his philosophy towards education, his ideas towards education, that has been reflected in the Republic of Plato as well as the Laws of Plato. The Laws is another important creation of Plato. Now let us focus upon educational philosophy of Plato. According to Plato, what is the concept of education? According to Plato, what should be the aims of education at different stages of learner's life? That we will be discussing here. First of all, so far as educational philosophy of Plato is concerned, Plato gives importance upon to prepare skilled citizens with good character. Here he has given importance upon the citizenship education. In the country where we are living, first of all, we should practice the values of the country, and we should, being a citizen, we should love this country, we should work for the country, and the knowledge, understanding, and whatever experiences that we are getting in our life, the ultimate benefit should goes to the country for the development of the country. So that's why it is required for the skilled citizen. So that's why our education system should prepare the citizen who are very much skilled, who are very much competent to pursue their work, and creating and developing a good character is also part of education as per the educational philosophy of Plato. Further, he has also given importance upon training to develop morality through good habits. Plato's ideas were experienced by him in a school called academy, which he established for this purpose. Friends, this is a type of experimental school. His education, he has just implemented his educational philosophy in this school, that is academy, and the curriculum that he has suggested for the pre-primary level, for the primary level, at the same time for a tertiary education or higher education, you will find that he has practiced it, he has experimented it in this school that's called as academy. According to him, he believes that real world is the world of ideas only. I was talking earlier, ideas are the permanent, and that is the real. There is no death of ideas, because the entire creation is because of certain ideas. Only ideas are true. The physical or material world is based upon the ideas. If there is no idea, then the creation that we are observing in our society and we are practicing in our society, it is simply impossible. Further, ideas are eternal, perfect, unchangeable, and everlasting. Try to understand. He has given much importance upon ideas and ideologies, and that's why he is idealistic schools of philosopher. And basing upon his ideas, you will find that many Indian philosophers also, they have also given their ideas and they have practiced their philosophy in education. Further, he said that education is just an instrument to attain truth, God, and beauty. That is, we can say, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. How to realize the truth, how to realize the God, and how to achieve the aesthetic sense from every attempt, from every endeavor that we are doing. So that's why Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, that is truth, God, and beauty, is the ultimate, you can say, achievement from education. Further, if I will focus upon particularly aims of education as given by Plato, he has given importance upon self-realization, how the learner, how the children will able to realize themselves, how they will introspect themselves. Okay, the true knowledge is the realization of the self, to understand that what is their potential abilities, and to understand that what is their strength, at the same time what is their weaknesses. So that's why whatever we do in our society, in our day-to-day practices, in our academic field, at the same time in our social living, we should realize ourselves, whether we are in a right direction or not, whether we are practicing the values or not. Further, cultivation of truth, beauty, and goodness is also another aims of education as given by Plato. He has also given importance upon development of spiritual values. Here, these spiritual values are different from religion. Okay, spiritual values are just above the religion. So he has given importance upon that through education, the children, the individual child, the citizens, the learners, they should achieve the spiritual development. Further, development of personality, which is you can say individual in nature. If you go through the Indian philosophers, it may be Mahatma Gandhi, it may be Swami Vivekananda, they have also given importance upon development of the individual abilities. all-round development of the personality. Accordingly, Plato has also given importance that how to develop all-round, how to achieve or go for the all-round development of the personality of human child. Then Plato has given importance on qualities of good citizenship, being a citizen of this country. So how to practice good habits and how to become a good citizen, how to contribute for the society. First of all, how to prepare oneself, how to develop as an individual, how to achieve the total development, and further how to contribute for the society, and how to achieve equilibrium in the human life also. You will find that in our society is a diversified society. In this world, if I will give the example of our country India is a very diversified country. It may be in terms of language, it may be in terms of culture, it may be in terms of our way of living, but at the same time we consider that all these diversities are just like our strength. These diversities are not our weaknesses. So that's why these diversities helps us to live unitedly. So that's why achieving, or you can say achieving equilibrium in human life is one of the very important aim of education, because in this society you will find that people are from different strata, from different social groups, from different practices. Okay, so that's why. And here also you will find that people are coming from the elite class and people are also coming from a low socio-economic background strata. So that's why how to develop and how to achieve equilibrium within the society and within the human life is also another important aim of education as per Plato. And further, if I will go through the process of education as suggested by Plato, we find that from his literature that according to Plato, intellect is gifted by nature. So every individual is having certain power, every individual is having certain intellect, and this intellect is given by the God, by the nature. And what education does? Education provides a type of support to the learners, support to the human child to come forward with certain abilities. Okay, so that's why the intellect which is God gifted, so how to use that intellect for creating new things, for practicing new things, and for spreading new things also, and for bringing changes in the society was one of the very focus point of Plato's philosophy. And further, he has also, so far as process of education is concerned, he believes in depending on individuals' intellect. Individuals can be divided into philosophers or scholars and soldiers or warriors. You see, there are two types or two categories of individuals. One category is philosophers or the scholars. Those can do certain intellectual work, and those can work for the development of the country and the development of the society. And the other category of individual, they are born to be a soldier, they are born to be a warrior. So that's why education system, our education system should be like that they should provide proper training to that group of individuals, those who want to be a soldier, those wants to be warrior, those can protect this country. And at the other side, another type of education should be given to another group of individual. Those can be the philosophers, they can be the scholars, and they can work for the country. It may be they can be the ruler of the country, and they can develop the country in a very intellectual way. So that's why according to him, there are two categories of individual, and as per their need, as per their abilities, our education system should be provided such opportunities to them. Further, if I will go through curriculum as suggested by Plato at different stages of human life is concerned, just like if I will first focus upon the pre-primary education as per Plato, that is from birth to 6 years, from 0 to 6 years of the life of the human child. Further, he has categorized the pre-primary education into two different stages. just like infancy, that is from birth to 3 years, then nursery, that is 4 to 6 years. Accordingly, after pre-primary, he suggested that there should be the second stages of education, that is the primary education, and the age duration of primary education, that is from 7 years to 16 years. Further, he has categorized the primary education into two parts, just like primary education 7 to 13 years, then middle education 13 to 16 years. Further, another stages of curriculum that he has suggested, that curriculum is specially for the soldiers or warfare education, that starts at the age of 16 and it continues till the age of 20. At this stage, education should be prepared in such a way that it should prepare the individual to be a soldier, to protect the country and to save the country. He has classified soldier or warfare education into two parts in different ages, just like from 16 to 18 years is the first stage, and further from 18 to 20 years is the second stage. Go forward to understand what about the higher education system as suggested by Plato. As per Plato, the age duration to whom higher education facilities should be provided, that is from 20 to 35 years, okay, from the age group of 20 to 35. Further, he has also classified into two parts, two levels, just like higher education 20 to 30 years is the first level, then the second level, that is upper higher education, that is from 30 to 35 years. So, he has given a complete structure of curriculum that is starting from the pre-primary education till the upper higher education also. Now friends, let us focus upon what should be the curriculum as per Plato, or what Plato suggested that what should be the curriculum at the pre-primary stage. At the pre-primary stage, he has given importance upon just like proper child rearing and health. At this time, child should be properly groomed, they should get proper care so far as their physical development is concerned, so far as their mental development is concerned. So that's why proper child rearing and health is the first concern at the pre-primary education stage, and further balanced food and happy environment is required. Balanced food and happy environment at home. Otherwise, for the future life, if the initial stage, if the development at the initial stage is not perfect, is not good, is not proper, then in the further life the child may face certain difficulties. Further development of values like truth, beauty and goodness should be practiced at the pre-primary education. And friends, it should be practiced from the mother herself, because mother is considered is the first teacher, as an important teacher as Plato suggested, and these values like truth, beauty and goodness should be practiced, should be experienced by the young child at the family from his or her mother. Then further curriculum at the primary education stage, he has focused upon separate education for boys and girls. Further, this has been criticized that why separate education for the boys and girls, but if you will go through the literature, the available literature of Plato, his educational concept, then you will find that he has suggested separate education for the boys and girls. Then sports, physical education, music, religion education, spiritual education, mathematics and moral education was part of the curriculum at the primary education stage. He has given importance upon patriotism and good citizenship education, to love the country, to work for the country, to live for the country and to contribute for the development of the country. For the primary education is a stage that should prepare the students, learners for higher education. So that's why proper care should be given at the primary education stage so that they can prepare themselves for higher education. Further curriculum at the warfare education, he has given importance, some of the important aspect of education, just like training for sports and physical education, training for warfare practice, training of horse riding, using different types of weapon that are being practiced in war. And further general education should be avoided with warfare education. Plato has given suggested that after the primary education, when they will enter in warfare education, there is no need to study again the general education. So there should not be mixed warfare education with general education. So that's why when if they enter in warfare education in this stage, only they will get the education relating to war, relating to physical development, relating to use of different weapons, relating to training for sports and physical education. Further, at the higher education stage, the curriculum that suggested by Plato, just like entrance examination for higher education system should be there, admission should be done through entrance examination. All students get the equality should be there, but there should be a screening. Okay. So those who will come to the higher education, they should have certain aptitude to contribute in the for the higher education system, to contribute for the development of the country. So that's why admission should be done through proper entrance examination. Then study of mathematics and science should be there in the higher education stage. Then prepare for administrative services are also done at the higher education stage. So the scholar who will come to pursue higher education, their aim should be to develop the country, to be the ruler, to be the administrator, and to take care of various development of the country. And in higher education, study of philosophy, political science and law is also permanent, is also compulsory. So friends, study of philosophy is compulsory part of higher education system. At the same time, political science and law. After all, they will be the administrator and they will serve to the country. Further, he has also given his suggestion for the professional education, that is from the age of 35 to 50 years of one's life. Okay? Plato considered education of this stage as professional education. During this period, citizens work as administrators and rulers and take responsibility of the efficient administration of the state. Okay? And they are leaders of the state and the society. So they will take the leadership and they will also bring changes for the society, and they will take the leadership at different aspect, at different field of the state. Then further he has suggested that after the age of 50 years, the professionals relieved from their regular service. Okay? So 50 years of one's life who is a professional is the proper age for the retirement, and this is retirement, that means after retirement they are at this stage they should indulge themselves into different endeavors for self realization and keep on giving their services as advisors. So that's why after the age of 50, a professional they should realize themselves that how changes can be practiced in the society, and they will act as an advisor. Further, he has also given his suggestions for the women education. Plato mentioned in his book The Republic that women and men both are capable of protecting the state, but women are comparatively weaker than men, especially in the physical power, in the physical aspect. Try to understand. Plato has suggested that education should be both for men and women, but he has that reservation that women are some extent comparatively weaker than the men. So that's why separate types of education, he has suggested separate types of education, that some types of education should be the men and other types of education should be the women. Plato recommended same education for both men and women at for a particular stage, and then after there should be the separate practices for education for men and women. Women can be selected for any administrative post in the state. Then women should also be provided education or training in industrial warfare, then philosophical and higher education. So these are the certain area that where men and women both can work. It may be administrative post, it may be industrial work, it may be philosophical and higher education system. Women should also be taught music, physical education, political science, art and craft. He has suggested in his book Republic. Further, women should not be restricted to household work only. So, beyond the household work, beyond their household engagement, they should also engage themselves in other world of work. The pedagogy that suggested by Plato, just like he has suggested the methods of teaching, just like a method of logic, how to use logic to teach the students, and further question answer method, discussion method, how to create a type of atmosphere in the school, atmosphere in the education institute, that the students will ask questions and teacher will satisfy their queries, will answer their queries, and at the same time teacher will ask questions and students will also give their expressions. So, that is why question answer method. At the same time, discussion method was also given importance in Plato's pedagogy and methods of teaching, so far as teaching learning process is concerned. Then imitation method. So, friends, this is a quite natural thing that when a students study in a school, directly or indirectly, they imitate the behavior of the teacher. They imitate the things that their teacher does in the school. It may be their communication, it may be their demonstration, it may be their style of teaching. So, that is why imitation method means when the child will learn and observe certain things, experience certain things by imitation, they can also modify themselves, they can also bring changes in their life, in their behavior. So, that is why imitation method was also suggested by Plato. Further, storytelling method, then self-study method was also suggested by Plato. And further, now let us focus upon some of the criticism on Plato's concept on education. You will find that many educationists at the contemporary time, they have also criticized the concept of education as given by Plato. As per Plato, society is above than the individual. Plato is given importance upon the society. Plato has given importance to the society for the development of the society and for the work of the society, but at the same time individual development is not given much importance. So, that is why this is one of the point of criticism so far as Plato's concept on education is concerned, because development of the society is based upon the development of the individual, and if individual development is hampered, if individual development is not given importance, then how to think about development of the nation, how to think about the development of the country, development of the society. So, that is why this is one point of criticism. For the lack of equilibrium between individual rights and duties. Friends, if you will go through the literature of Plato, Plato has given much importance upon the duty of the individual, but at the same time right of the individual should also be given importance, because every individual is having certain rights. Okay, so they should enjoy those rights. So, without right, only Plato has given importance upon the duties. So, that is why here there is lack of certain equilibrium. So, this is also another point of criticism so far as Plato's concept on education is concerned. Further, individual freedom is given to the state. Individual will only do the duty for the state without enjoying any rights, I have already discussed. Then philosophy as a subject included in curriculum for becoming an administrator. Friends, in the higher education system, Plato has given that compulsorily philosophy should be a subject or a discipline of study. So, few educationists and philosophers, they have criticized it, they have criticized in the way that why philosophy as a subject, as a discipline is included in the higher education system, those prepare for the administrator, because the nature of work of the administrator is something different. Here there is nothing to do with the philosophy. So, this is also the point of criticism. Further, Plato does not recognize family as an agency of education. We understand that education starts from the family. Mothers are the first teacher, though Plato has given importance upon the mother, but in his literature hardly you will find that something has mentioned in a very constructive way that at the early stage of life the child should get their first education from the family. Okay. So, we understand that family as an active agency of education, society and community are also agencies of education. School is school is a formal agency of education, media and state are also the agencies of education, but according to Plato, Plato has given much importance as state as an agency of education, but Plato is not given much importance upon family as an agency of education, but most of the social development, most of the development in values, in attitude at the early stage of life, that are happened at the family, but simply Plato has neglected family as an agency of education. So, friends, these are the certain criticism given by the contemporary philosophers and educationists towards educational concept of Plato. And further, just to recapitulate and let me to focus upon some of the important questions for your practice, just like after going through this video lesson and part E content from your module, you can explain Plato's philosophy of life, you will be able to discuss educational philosophy of Plato. You can also answer the question like what are the aims of education as suggested by Plato, what should be the curriculum at different stages of education as per Plato. Then you will be able to explain the concept of professional education as suggested by Plato, explain the concept of women education as suggested by Plato, then what pedagogy and methods of teaching were suggested by Plato, then develop a critique on Plato's concept on education. So, I am very much hopeful that definitely you will be able to answer these questions after going through this video lesson and your part and the part content which is included in the module. Friends, just to recapitulate, today we discussed about the philosophy of life as per Plato. We also discussed concept of education as given by, as suggested by Plato. It may be aims of education, curriculum at different stages, process of education, pedagogy and methods of teaching, professional education, women education, and further we also discussed about the criticism of Plato's concept on education. In our next lesson, we will discuss other life philosophy of education. Thank you.